He's our troop area commander here in Troop C in Grand Island. Thanks again for being here. I want to start by saying thank you to the residents of this Grand Island neighborhood for their patience and cooperation this morning. I'm certain that this was a very trying morning for them as they experienced our troopers here working this scene. This was a frightening situation this morning in which our investigators were presented with a life-threatening danger. We're extremely thankful that nobody was injured in this situation, and all of our troopers are going to go home safely this evening. At about 6:40 this morning, troopers with our Tech Crimes unit were continuing a child pornography investigation in the 900 block of East Oklahoma Avenue at the residence behind me. That investigation included a search warrant for the residence. As investigators attempted to perform the search warrant, a resident from inside the home fired a gun toward our troopers. Following the gunfire, the resident barricaded themselves inside the home. One trooper returned fire following the gunfire from inside the residence. No one was hit by gunfire, and the suspect barricaded themselves inside the home. The suspect has been identified as 43-year-old Justin Jelnick, also the resident of this home.
Did you spell his last name?
Of course. Justin, Justin. Jelnick is spelled Jelinek, 43-year-old. The address is 912 Oklahoma. I'll confirm that. I'll confirm that here in a second, ma'am. After about 10 minutes of repeated commands for Jelnick to surrender, he voluntarily exited the home and was taken into custody without further incident. Jelnick has been taken to Hall County Jail and charges are pending. The Nebraska State Patrol SWAT team has been here on scene for a couple of hours as they work to clear the home of any additional threats and to ensure the safety of this neighborhood. I can tell you that there is no additional danger to this neighborhood as a result of this incident. There are two ongoing investigations at this point. Our Tech Crimes unit will continue the child pornography investigation involving Mr. Jelnick, and Troop C, Nebraska State Patrol investigators, are investigating the shooting. I'd like to thank the Grand Island Police Department, the Grand Island Fire Department, and again, the neighbors in this Grand Island community that were impacted by this incident this morning. I'd also like to reiterate how thankful I am that our troopers were not injured, or any public safety members were not injured this morning as a result of the actions of the resident inside this home. This remains an ongoing, continuing investigation, and I would be open to answer any questions that I can at this time.
Colonel, I know sometimes strategically you like to do these kinds of situations early in the morning and to minimize the collateral to the community. Was that kind of the case in a situation like this?
It is. Obviously, without revealing any of our operational tactics, we do take extra measures to make sure that the timing of these particular operations are done in a manner that will protect the community and also protect our folks that we're interested in speaking with or arresting, and our troopers. Great question.
So I understand that a lot of neighbors that I kind of spoke with, they said that they were kind of barricaded. They were told to stay in their homes and all this and that. Can you talk about just kind of why that's done, what that situation was about?
Sure. So in the event of obviously gunfire from this residence, there's very concerning that we want to make sure that the neighborhood and those inside their homes are safe. And in order to do that, we actually ask them to shelter in place, go to a lower level of their home if that's available, to protect themselves from any stray gunfire that might result from this resident's decision to shoot at Nebraska State troopers.
How many troopers were on the scene here this morning about?
I don't have that number at this time, sir.
Did you bring in SWAT units from Lincoln then?
Our SWAT team is dispersed across the entire state, so we bring in resources and assets from different parts of the state, including Troop C. There are SWAT operators that work directly out of your Grand Island office.
What was the process, kind of when someone, say, they barricade themselves inside the home, you know they have a weapon, what's kind of the process that NSP kind of goes through in that situation? Is it a lot of, like, say, kind of watch and wait, or how does that kind of work?
We lean heavily on training. We lean heavily on our tactics communication equipment. And I can tell you our Nebraska State Troopers that are assigned to our SWAT team are highly trained. They are led by a talented group of Nebraska State Trooper leaders. And so we really rely on time, training, and tactics, depending on what we're presented with. And that's how we'll plan the operation moving forward. But ultimately, if there are no other lives in danger other than the person that we're attempting to contact, we've got a lot of time to use those tools and training that we have available.
The person who is arrested, does he have a prior record?
I don't have that information at this time.
Okay.
We'll be sure to get that to you in another press release, though.
Is he in custody, being lodged into the county jail here?
He is, so he's in custody at the Hall County Jail.
And Colonel, I know when your investigators are following up with a situation like this, most times they're able to effect an arrest and things go as planned, but I'm sure they're trained that there's always a possibility, and they know going into a situation like this, they can encounter, all different things can happen, right?
Right, so this is a great example of the training, the preparation, and just the safety planning that goes into every one of these operations. This was a search warrant that was completed by our tech crimes unit. Those are day-to-day, non-uniformed investigators, but they did work through a threat assessment, a safety plan, and they communicated that through their chain of command, knowing that these types of incidents may result in some type of a dangerous environment for our troopers and for the community. So we take every step we can to ensure that everyone will be safe as the ultimate outcome.
Was there anyone else in the home other than the person who was arrested?
There was no one else in the home.
Did you say the age of the suspect?
43 years old.
So what were the charges he was officially arrested on?
Right now charges are pending, so I don't have that information at this time.
Okay. And how many shots were fired? Was it just one shot or was it several shots?
That's still part of the ongoing investigation. All right. Any other last question?
In terms of a trooper using a trooper's weapon, how is that kind of investigated then? Is there an investigative process with that as well?
There is. So that's obviously anytime a trooper is involved in any use of force, whether that's a deadly force encounter or an instance where they're using other types of force to apprehend a subject, it will be investigated thoroughly based on our policies and based on expectations from those policies. Okay, thank you so much.
Very much, gentlemen.
I appreciate you.
Is it possible to get